Imagine with me for a moment. You are a little plant in a field. Suddenly, you feel an earthquake beneath your feet. Something's coming. What is that? Moo! It's a cow! Oh no, what are you going to do? Will you hit the cow with a stick? Oh no, you can't do that. You don't have arms or a stick nearby. Are you going to run away? You can't. You don't have feet to run away. Your roots are in the ground. So what are you going to do? Plants are made up of little tiny cells, and these cells are like tiny cities. Imagine a Lord of the Rings kind of city with a wall. And on these walls, there are chemicals watching for danger. They also listen to the other cities of the little cells to hear if there are any alarm signals going on. When anything changes, they shout to their soldiers down in the city, "Come help us." These chemicals then run to something called the nucleus, or in our case, the palace. Inside the palace is the scroll of wisdom. It is also called DNA. So, this is our scroll of wisdom. It contains all the instructions that are necessary to build the city or the cell and to cope with anything that may happen outside. And so, as you can see on these different colored papers, we have different sets of instructions. So when the cow comes, guess what? Our scribes inside this palace will go and they will make many copies. Like this. So that the copies and the messages can be sent outside to the rest of the city. Once that happens, the workers in the city can actually make copies of chemicals that can make the plant taste bad, so that other things don't come into the plant as well. So why do we want to know this? It's actually very simple. If we can count, and as geneticists, we can count, scientists these days can eavesdrop on messages inside the cell, and they can count how many messages of each of these instruction sets are going around. There are thousands of these instructions, and yet they can count how many copies there are. If we can count how many copies, if something happens, say the cow comes, and we've got more of these copies, we know these instructions are important to defend against the cow eating the plant. So if we have a plant that can't defend itself against the cow, what do? We simply make a copy of this, put it inside that plant, and that plant should be able to defend itself against cows. And now, I want to tell you that next time you walk through the wood and you hear noises, you know that the trees are talking.
Very well done. You managed to resolve this with that and how we can't very well done. And I also enjoyed the tone of voice. The tone allows you to listen to actually follow your side. I think it makes it really well. Well done.
Very well done. If someone asked you, do you think you do the same thing yourself in terms of defending yourself? Do you use DNA?
They're different. I'm not a human geneticist, but your cells are always responding to something going on. Your body is always, anything that happens, if you're cold, if you're hot, your cells are always doing something.
Excellent.
Yeah, well done. Just one comment I would make is I think that white paper crop was a little bit too big, because when you tried to talk about the